Hey, Dodgers. That's my nickname for text, Dodgers. Hey, Dodgers. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, everybody. How you doing? You having a good weekend? Wow, great Suzo coming hot out of the gate with hieroglyphics mode. Yeah, I can do that. Where's my little button for it? Hold on. I have a little button that's supposed to silence you fools. But I think Twitch rearranged my where's my little emote mode button? Here we go. Boop. Thank you for the resubscribe, great Suzo, and a great use of your channel points. I'm gonna put on a timer. Hey everybody, here's what we're doing today. All right, timer on. Here's what we're doing today. Bought some stuff and I want to write it off on my taxes. So in order for it to be a business expense, it has to count as something for my business. For example, live streaming. This is part of my empire. So I recently, this is unrelated. This is a thing I recently did. No. So the St. Louis, Missouri Botanical Garden, which I love and I am a member of, has a side hustle. Wait, now that's a weird way of describing it. They've got a shop. Ow, I hit myself in the face with the bag. They've got a shop called Little Shop Around the Corner. It is indeed kind of around the corner from the Botanical Gardens. It's an antique shop basically, and people who like the garden donate their things to it, and so it's they get quite a lot of very nice stuff, like really nice furniture, really nice like glassware and like jewelry and stuff like that. But earlier this year, they became fully overrun. They stopped taking donations and they were like, we've just got too much stuff. Y'all are too generous. We have too much stuff. So earlier this week on Wednesday, they were like, okay, we're doing just a flat 50% off everything that we have. And again, they've got like some giant stuff. They've got like a whole bed and stuff like that. So it is quite a crazy sale. And I was like, well, I don't have a car, but I do want to go to this antique show. This antique store that I like so much that's having this crazy big sale. So I got on a bus. It took forever. And I got a bunch of really fun things. I spent $55. And I'm like, well, I could claim this on my taxes if I unbox this as entertainment on this channel. So that's what we're going to do first of all. We're going to do that. I got some cool stuff that I'm excited to show you. And then after that, we've got another tax dodge thing, which is that earlier this year, kind of as a New Year's resolution, I got this online workshop about how to make wooden automatons. I had to get that right. I'm so glad you can't make fun of me for how I said that right now. That's really good for me. I guess have a message bullying me ready for when the timer goes up. I got a workshop about how to make wooden automatons. And it was like, oh, here's how to make cogs, and here's how to put all this together, and here's like the math of it and stuff like that. And the final project of it is something that is almost a creature, but not quite a creature. And I think we can make it even more of a creature. Oh, Gold Stars got around the emo only chat is really funny. Emo jail cannot contain 6 or 10. I love that there's workarounds for it. So that's the plan. I've got Blender already up and running. Basically, we'll do the unboxing and then we're gonna make some sort of creature. I'll show you. I cracked open the workshop today, but like almost none of the videos in the actual workshop are playing. I can't tell if it's my internet or if something has gone horribly wrong with the workshop. I hope those are still accessible because I took quite extensive notes, but I don't know if I can finish the project without like the full video instructions. Anyway, I'll show you a little peek about what the final project looks like in the actual course. And then you're very much encouraged to come up with your own design. And when I show it to you, you're going to be like, that's almost a creature. That's so close to being a creature. And I'm going to be like, yeah, well, if we just push that a little bit. So that's the plan today. Yeah, that's it. Let's unbox some stuff. I'll do the really boring. I got a couple really boring stuff at the antique show. And I'll do those first, and then we'll ramp up. I actually pulled them aside because I was like, these are not fun antiques. One is a vegetable steamer. But it was like $3. And it's not exciting, but I needed a vegetable steamer. It's just a good thing to have, and now I have one. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. The other really boring thing is that I needed a salt cellar. I used to have this beautiful salt cellar that a professor at a university that I used to work at, he would just make them on bulk because he was a pottery instructor and he loved doing pottery. And it was a beautiful bowl. No bowl has ever come close to it, and I just don't know where it is. I had it when I was in New York. I packed it away somewhere. It's somewhere. But I have not seen it since, and I'm truly devastated by the fact. All right, hold on. Let me get you out of baby jail. Your baby parole officer is here. Okay. You went to an estate sale yesterday and also got a vegetable steamer. Yes, Mechtel, yes. They're vital. They're vital. If you want to steam vegetables, it's just the best way to do it. You can also do like dumplings in them. Sometimes I'll do dumplings in them. They're so handy. All right, those are the two, all four of them for 10. And I was like, it's silly not to just get all of them. And the lady who was checking me out was like, oh, we used to have these growing up. And it's this incredibly cute dish set, which has it's almost like a TV dinner. If you all remember TV dinners, when those were like in the heyday in my youth. And I definitely remember I remember us eating TV dinners at one point, but it's got like a built-in. Uh-oh. Is there something wrong with the stream? Did the stream go down? I am not seeing any issues. Did you get booted? It went down but came back. I'm not seeing any disruption on my end, so this might be a Twitch thing. Okay, anyway. I got four sets of these. It is like a TV dinner style creation. Dracarnius, thank you for the resubscribe. It's got like a little place for the cup, and then like a place for like a sandwich or a slice of cake or something. I was talking to the lady up front and I was like, what did you use it for? And she was like, sandwiches and cups. And I was like, okay, thank God. I was a little worried it was an ashtray. And she was like, well, I used them as a kid and we didn't smoke. But it's probably like, this probably was like the ashtray section. So you could have like your meal, your drink, and then your ashtray. But I'm just really excited about like, in the afternoon, I always have like a cup of tea or coffee because I get sleepy after lunch. And I'm just like so pleased about the idea of having like a slice of cake or like some cookies and like my little cup of tea or coffee here. I'm just like ridiculously pleased from it. I don't know why I got 4. I don't know what the use case scenario, if I'm going to have 4 people over, I'm going to have 4 people over and we're all going to have cute little trays of stuff. It might be tea party style. Maybe I'll have to finesse a tea party to happen with my friends. But anyway, like I said, it was 4 of these for $10, and I was like, well, I can't not. And that's not true. I could not have. But I was just so pleased with them. They all need a good wash. Let's see. Hey, Captain Oblivion. Oh, okay. This one I got for my mother. Her birthday's coming up. And she has a sea-themed bathroom, as is very common in the Midwest. But it's this beautiful little shell-shaped jewelry box. I guess it's not necessarily specifically jewelry, but that's sort of the vibe. There's a little tag in it, the original tag. This item is tarnish resistant. To clean, just wipe with damp cloth. Do not use harsh abrasive. Dorothy C. Thorpe, Inc., California. You have received a Dorothy Thorpe original created on the drawing boards in her California studio. It is one of over 10,000 designs developed since 1932. But I just thought this was so lovely. It's the sort of thing where it's like, this is beautiful. It doesn't really fit like my style, but it fits my mom's style so much. I think she is going to really enjoy it. It's got little feet. Look at this detail. This is just incredible. Welcome, Clerica Berica. I'm saving the big ticket item for last, so you've got some space. Anyway, don't tell Dorothy, but I do think it's a little tarnished. But I think hopefully my mom will like it. It's just such detail, like the scooping on the sides here. This beautiful plush, it's got a plush like red velvet interior. It's like unused. It's like fully unused. I'm just so pleased. I think my mom's really gonna like it. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh. This is a big swing. This one was very much like... this was very much a, like, this is like $12. I'll find a use for it. But let me unwrap it all. This is a two-piecer. This is a beautiful, like, serving jug with stand. I'm gonna pull back. It is like a keeping warm. This is for parties. You'll put like a candle tea light there at the bottom, and it'll keep everything that's in here warm. It won't like cook it, but it'll keep it warm while you're doing like serving. It's got like this beautiful top with like a little slit in it. It's got like surprisingly detailed like silver work on the side. I don't know if you can really tell. And like really just a really lovely handle. And the jar itself is in such a good shape. It's just one of those things where it's like, I guess I'm gonna have to have a party. I feel like this would be so good in the winter for like glog, like some sort of glow wine, like some sort of hot fruited wine. This is gonna be so perfect for it. It was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, wassail hot chocolate, that would be a really good one. One of those things where it's just like, I really don't need this, but I live in the Midwest now. I've got space. I can have weird, bulky, really specific shit like this. Yes, exactly. It's intact. And that's very impressive. It's another one where it's like, this looks like it has barely, if at all, been used. Or maybe it was just really, I bought a social obligation. I'm okay with that. Anyway, I'm just delighted. There were so many, it was really hard. There were so many like cool chafing dishes, which I guess this would be considered one of. And like, they had a soup tureen with matching ladle and tray and like 4 matching bowls, and I was like, oh, a soup tureen. Yeah, I think the idea is that you put a tea light in the bottom, and that little heat sort of keeps it warm while it's out waiting for people to use it. Magdal says, I'm sitting now at a table covered in glassware my friend picked up at the free estate sale. She prescribes to the same idea. It's just, this is the problem with like old glassware and stuff like this. Assuming it's like lead free, which I'll probably have to do a test on all of this stuff to make sure it is. But like assuming it's lead free, which this probably is, there's no like etching on it. There's no decorative elements that would make me think there was lead in it. But it's just like, that shit is so cool. And you can't buy them new anymore. And that's fine because like, if you go to any estate sale or any antique store, there's going to be a billion of them in really good state. And like I said, this was like $12. I was like, well, I can't not. I can't not. It's so delightful. Okay. I also got just some really nice, again, like crazy cheap. It was like $2. Some really nice lacy doilies. These are not going to pick up. It is too bright here. We'll see. It's just like really delicate lace. That's all it is. I don't know what I intend to do with these, but sometimes you just see something that you're like, wow, this is really beautiful. And I can just have it with money, and then you do it. And that's what this is sort of was to me. I don't know if it's picking up. It's just really light. It's very lightweight. It's very ethereal. Maybe I'll use it in some sort of clothing element. Oh, it's just nice. It's just nice. You're learning to make lace at the moment, Aphelion. That's so cool. Sometimes I get TikToks of lace makers because that's what I do with TikTok. I watch artisans make their artisan work. Sometimes I see lace makers on TikTok and it's just like incredible. It's just such a cool art. It's one of those ones where it's like, I would not want to do it, but I'm glad that is being like preserved and passed on because it's so cool. All right, so this last one, I paid about $55 for all this stuff. This last one was $20 of it. It was the big ticket item. And let me say off the bat that it's a little rough. It's going to need some rehabbing. But it was the sort of thing where it was like, I was checking out and they were like, this is only $35. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. I'll take that one thing. I guess I'm going to take that. I don't need the headphones. The headphones are so I can't hear myself talking. I'm going to pull back and I'll lift this up and you can see. Is it picking up? Yeah, you can see it. It is an Art Deco tablecloth. I don't know if you can see some of the details on it. It is very much like McDowell. There's a really famous, there's a couple of very famous Art Deco artists whose work I just like particularly enjoy. And this is very like reminiscent of the work. And like, you can see like, look at that. It's just so beautiful. And you can see like even the white part sort of has its own like filigree. I don't even have a square table. I have a round table. So this is going to look weird on it, but it's the appropriate size for it. It is a little like weather aged. Yeah. Macintosh and McDonald are exactly who I'm thinking of. Man, yeah, you can see like the detail, just like the beautiful arcs and the puffy trees. I'm gonna have to, yeah, it's had some damage. I think I'm gonna spot test it first, but I think I'm gonna like OxyClean it and try to get it a little bit, try to get some of the stains off. So there's just some, I mean, it's a tablecloth, so what do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna get stained, but it's just like, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen like an Art Deco tablecloth like this. I just think it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite styles of art, and particularly like the shape of these like arcs here and the way that the trees are sort of integrated. I just think it's so beautiful. Like these roses, this rose detail and the way that it's like mimicked in the flowers up here. Ugh. I know, if I ever go to Glasgow, that he's on the top tier of my list. He and his wife were both like exceptional Art Deco artists in this style. Got a very good book about them. I just love their work so much. So it's one of those things where I was like, this is originally $40. I got it for $20. That's still quite a lot given the shape that it's in. Because it's in rough shape. But it's a linen, so I think it'll yeah, no antiques category, which I'm shocked by. Just a chatting category. Anyway, those were my purchases. I believe it's actual linen. It feels like a linen or a linen blend maybe, but it's got kind of that stiffness that you associate with linen, that I associate with linen. So like I said, I'm going to do some spot testing. It's all like machine worked. Yeah, I don't know. OxyClean should be able to get out either whether it's cotton or linen. As long as it's a plant fiber, it should be fine. And I don't think there's any like wool or anything on this. Anyway, I'm just so ecstatic. I love it so much. It's one of those things where I'm like, I would never have bought it for $40. Even buying it for $20 is pushing it because like I don't use a tablecloth, you know? Their one-man show? That's wild. Did you go? Nicholas, did you go? Nicholas, did you go? What a missed opportunity if not. You didn't go? Okay. That's probably for the best. Because what if you went and you were the only person there and then it really was a one-man show? One man performing, one-man audience. Okay. We're gonna transition to, you for sure would have been. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I didn't grab any water. All I grabbed was my coffee, and then I was trying to prepare stuff over here. So I'm gonna take 1 second to get water, and then I'll show you all the creature that is sort of the basis for what we're gonna make. Anyway, I'll be right back. Oh yeah, don't forget it's time to get your vaccines re-upped. I made my appointment for next week. And you can all do the same. Oh, also, if you're in the USA, the USPS has started sending out free COVID tests again. So if you wanted another four free COVID tests, they are now shipping those. So please go ahead and do that. What other notes are there about life? Hey, don't forget to check your voter registration. I've been having trouble getting my voter registration to go through. I just kept checking. And like, hey, what's happening here? Wasn't going through. And then when I got back from vacation, in my held mail pile, there was my voter registration, which had just been decimated. It was undeliverable, apparently, to the address. And it's one of those things where I'm like, this is probably just an accident. But with all of the weird voter suppression stuff happening, it's hard not to feel targeted. Anyway, I went to, there's an independent Pride festival in St. Louis called Tower Grove Pride. And they had a booth. Oh, captions just stopped working, huh? Anyway, there was a voter registration booth, and I was able to go there. Let me fuss with captions for a minute. Captions, what are you doing? Captions, what are you doing? Captions, I don't even see your tab. There we go. I mean, you can hear me. Okay. Okay. All right, it did it. Good. Okay. Held mail file? No, Captain Oblivion. All right, I'm gonna show you the best that I can. Got some funky Glad jars, weird wooden wreaths, love that. Oversized 2-gallon brandy glass. Bunch of 1970s print choose your own adventure novel style D&D books, cool, including one called Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons. Awesome. Also a weird little TTRPG set called Wizardry that I've never heard of but looks charming. I can't recommend going to estate sales enough. They're always a little bit eerie. But the things that you find there are almost always bangers because they're stuff that somebody actually used and like cared for. So that's my pitch for estate sales. I started to get into estate sales before I left for vacation, and now I'm back and don't have a car. I'm like, well, I bet there's some cool ones happening. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little clip from the class. I was going to like pull out the actual imagery and stuff, but again, the class isn't loading right. I don't know if it's my internet or the world. But I'm going to play this, and you're going to see some shots of the stuff that is involved in the class, but also the final project. Final project is the big thing with wings. I'm going to mute it. That thing. This thing. That thing. So this thing on the right is the creature that we're trying to make. This thing. So you can see it's a little box, it's got little legs. The back side of it, you only get the briefest. I wish there was a better. I wish it were easier to. So this is like the back crank that moves the stuff in the middle. It is a little guy. Thank you, Suzo. Little guy vindication over here. This is it's almost fully a little guy, but it's not quite a little guy. But you see it's got like these cool wings. And then it's like the turning mechanic is here and also in the middle. And also it's huge. The dimensions that have been posted for this thing are large. It is a centerpiece. But I think it's awfully cool. This is a good workshop. I will say, so I got this through Domestika. I'm really pleased with it. The instructor is Portuguese and speaks Portuguese. But everything is very well subtitled, as you can see. And all of the information that like you need for the course is in like multiple languages. That's it. That's the creature. So I can't recommend it enough. What I will say is that they almost always have discounts. So I would wait and get one for like, you can get them for like $10, I think, which is very reasonable. But it was one of those things where it was like, you never know how long how like these online classes are going to go, if they are going to be good, if you're actually going to learn anything. I was very, very, very pleased with this. Worth every penny. And I have, where did I put them? Oh, I went to my local, there's, St. Louis has a couple maker spaces. I went to the cool grungy one, not the weird fancy one. Also, you can find this artist on the internet. His name is Eduardo Salzane. Can I drop a link? Can I copy his name? And so if you like automatons like I do, you can find him on Instagram and see his stuff. I really like it. Whoo, fucking dramatic. I love it. I'm trying to find a still shot of this creature. I did not do what he did, which is like hand cut out the cranks and stuff. Because that felt like too much for me. But I did go to, like I said, my local maker space, and we machine cut a bunch of cogs. I think I've shown these on stream before. We machine cut a bunch of cogs. Because you can find quite a lot of programs online that like will generate cogs pretty nicely. And the other thing I'll say is like I fucking could not find wooden cogs online for sale that weren't like to be glued on a top hat for a pretty lazy steampunk costume. Like I could not find functional wooden cogs on sale online, so I did basically have to make these. But aren't they cool? Aren't they cool? Anyway, these are the things that will actually power the automaton. I'm really excited. I went to the there's a clock museum in Zurich, because of fucking course there is, because it's Switzerland. There was a clock museum, and I was like, I don't think this is going to be anything, because it was clearly in the basement of like a really fancy watch shop, like a really fancy watch shop. It was so fancy when we approached, there was like a velvet rope across the door to this watch shop where you go and buy watches. Not where I go and buy watches, not where we go and buy watches, where rich people go and buy watches. And we rolled up and they were like, how can we help you? And we're like, trying to get to the museum. And so they let us through, but it was one of those things where it was like, did we need an appointment to come to this watch shop? Anyway, so I was like, I don't think this watch shop is probably not going to be anything. It's very common for places like that to have spaces that they're labeled museums that I assume are for tax dodge reasons, thematic. But basically they ain't shit. But this one was really good. It had like really good curation. They had like an iPad that you could walk around with and get more information and close-ups on everything. There was a bunch of stuff that wasn't running, obviously, because it's a watch shop. That would be a nightmare, but you could watch videos of it like in action, and that was really cool. But it really made me be like, wow, automated works are so neat. They run on crystals. Anyway, all right. So there's stuff in this creature that we have to have. This is not going to be proportionate. This is going to be a rough shape. Let me actually add a little image in the corner so we can remember what we're going for. Okay. It'll be next to the P Falfax, and that'll just be like the bird corner. Hello, Alec. Let your cat speak. Okay. All right. So this is the shapely thing. So it doesn't... The things that it needs to have are, I think, wings. Although I guess they don't need to be wings. They can be any sort of movement. But basically, there's a crank on the back. I'm going to be saying the word crank a lot. I'm just going to put that out there as something y'all need to be prepared for. It's also been a minute. I got into Blender earlier this week to kind of stretch my blender legs. So hopefully it won't be too burdensome. But okay. So things that we need. We don't need a box. So I'm going to stop making it. What we do need is a little crank. Yeah, dipping my toes in the blender. That's exactly it, Nicholas. Getting my toes a little blender wet. Maybe it would be better. I'm thinking about it now. Maybe it would be better to do like a sculpted, to do like a 3D sculpted thing like we did the Guess the Pokemon, and then I translate that into firm wooden shapes. No, the nice thing about Blender is that it's so good at firm wooden shapes. That's the thing is, yeah, the mushy sculpting is, it's so fun, and you get such creatures from that inevitably. Maybe both. Maybe we'll do both. I'm gonna set up the rough things that I think I need. Again, this is so annoying because it's like the class is not functioning in a way that I can see like the exact stuff that I'm gonna need. So that's really annoying. Maybe I can, hold up. Let me pull up. I have to reverse engineer this. So annoying. All right. I got 2 poles in the middle. Oh, no, that makes sense. So we got 2 poles, 1 thing connected to it in the back, and then we're gonna have, what kind of creature are we going for? Well, the main thrust of the project is that you're creating big wings, and I do quite like that, just because I like wings as a type of movement, and I think the fabric part of that will be very fun for me, because then I could make like feather. I could add literal feathers, or I could make like feather fabric, or like there's all sorts of things that I can do to make that movement like more exaggerated. So I do very much like this wing aspect of it. You can see in the bottom left, that's kind of what the creature looks like. I like the wings. But we can also, we can add on other stuff. Listen, if we get into the sticky icky sculpting aspect of this, then yeah, there will probably be a butt plug face. Automatons are not immune to butt plugs. My instructor didn't say that, but it was pretty much implied. I wonder how hard it is to make cogs. I wonder how hard it is to make cogs in Blender. I bet it's not bad. We'd have to use a modifier to like get all the cogs around. No, it's not important. We're creature designing. My brain is like wanting to engineer design. That's not what we're doing. We are creature designing. Let me just get these pulls right. Boom. Okay. And then gonna hop back and look at the browser again. So you can see this thing, if I remember correctly, this little toggle is connected to these two. I wish it would stop unmuting. So this is connected to these two pulls, or maybe it's just connected to the one, actually. This one might be a stabilitating? Sure. Stabilizing. This is probably a stabilizing pull, and I think this one is the one that's actually twisting the mechanism in the front. Let's see. I wish I could turn off the captions, but I really don't think I can, because they're right in the way of what I'm trying to see here. But yeah, so I think actually only one, this one can spin, but this is the one that's actually being moved. Only the left tit is moving. The right one is, they're just there for sympathy. But basically when this one moves this way, this obviously will move the opposite way. And then that is what causes the wings to sort of change shape. You can see there's this line here. These, I believe, are also stabilized on the ear. So I believe this is a thing that is stabilizing it. And then when you push the line, it's stabilized here. When you push the line up, the whole thing goes down and up. So that's how you're getting like the motion of this. So let me look at other things that I'm going to need. So the shape of the wings, I think, is going to be the thing I want to change the least. But I do think we need like these little ear-like protrusions. This is tricky because I think this is, the way that this is built such that the cogs are very visible and shown off, because like that's the point of the class. So I think that's kind of why they are like this. But in my heart of hearts, I'm like, that makes it look less friend-shaped, and I want it to look friend-shaped. This is often an issue in my life. I want things to look friend-shaped. But I guess if something's not actually a friend, then that's a lie. Okay. The box can be anything. Yes. Galumper, yes. You're with me. The box can be anything. Ironically, the box is where we are the most free. So this goes there. That's connecting it to the wing part. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a little freaky looking. What if they're frenemy shaped? I mean, here's the other thing is like, hypothetically, so this is a very basic project, right? And part of that basicness is that, oh, you guys can't see all the Blender stuff I'm doing because this is still in the way. The shape of this, the mechanic of this is very simple. There's this turn, you turn the tail, what I am conceptualizing as a tail. You turn the tail, and that turns these inner poles, and that turns the cog, and that cog turns this, and this is what moves. There's no reason we can't have other automations. The only reason we wouldn't want to have any other automations is that I'm a baby. I'm a baby at Automaton, so this will be my first full Automaton. And so if I wanted to make it less complex, that was an option. Actually, I might make the wings kind of droop down instead of be on top, because when they're on top like this and you're looking at it from the straight forward, it's, I feel like, less evocative than if like the wings were drooped down. Hold on, I was highlighting the wrong thing. I think it would be cool if the wings drooped down here instead of going up and over, because when you're looking at this from the front, I think those wings are kind of low impact because they're parallel to you. But I think if the wings kind of droop down here, I think that would be kind of cool. And then maybe, depending on how intense the motion is, the intensity of the motion is based on how many cogs you have, basically. So if you have fewer cogs, it'll be a little bit jitterier and more like stop motion. If you have a lot of cogs, it'll be really smooth. And I think I'm sort of in the middle. I don't think it's going to be the smoothest, because I went for pretty big, chonky cogs. You know I love a big, thick cog. And so, because those were just easier to make in a way that was going to be stable. let's do boop. Okay. We'll duplicate that one. All right, and then okay. 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 No, come back. No, come back. Okay. The directionality of Blender still catches me up. If there were a way to make the grid movements relative to... No. Where you were looking, that would be very tempting for me. Okay. So that's like the basics of the wing, basically. Boom. Okay. And this is going to be actually off center. Wow, okay. Well, that's kind of that's like, this is like it. This is like the base. This is the skeleton of the creature we are making. I should save. Okay. So this is the basics of the creature. I think this part, so this part is like the wings of it. I do think I want to maintain the wings. The wings on the OG version go up and over, which I don't like. I think we should do draping down wings, and then you'll get like a way better motion when it's actually moving. I think that would be cool. The family-friendly Baldur's Gate stream was fun. It was really good. Okay. Help me brainstorm what this creature is going to look like. I mean, I do like, okay, we do actually, I forgot I needed the stabilizing aspect. This pivot point, I believe, is what they're called. I got rid of the wrong thing. Get. There we go. Okay. Friend shaped. That does help, Mechtel. That does help. Because we could make a not friend-shaped thing. That is always an option. Okay. Okay, I'll do, how am I going to do this? So I do like that this creature has ears, visible ears in this version. Like this little ear shape. It's serving a purpose, so we can't totally get rid of it, but I do quite like that's got ears. I don't know, it's cute. It's a cute thing. How do I use any part of this? I'm trying to remember how to. I guess I don't need to. There we go. Okay. Friends come in mini shape. Weird, creepy friend who you totally don't get. Okay. Does that feel like relevant to some people in the chat? Would it be comforting? Let's grab you. Tuck you up a little bit. Okay. That's true. Good for spooky season. What if it was just Mothman? Oh, that's tempting. That's very tempting. I don't know if I want to use somebody else. Well, is it somebody else's IP? Is it kind of the world's IP? I'm trying to remember how to switch to... Ah! I did it. I was trying to remember how to switch... what things are grabbed, but I did it. I would lean towards a general original just because, like, if I'm going through all this effort. A silly gargoyle. I like silly gargoyles. Am I going to paint it? The Great Suzo, it kind of depends on what the design is. It kind of depends. If the design calls for painting, then yeah, probably a painting of some flavor. Updating for accuracy. He's got to come forward. How does this connect? God, I hope you have to make it have a great butt, which sounds like it would be very hard to do with wood. It's not impossible, but yeah, it certainly would be a little tricky. Okay. Okay. Galumfer has accepted your challenge, but not on my behalf. Just to make it clear. Okay. Here's what I think we should do. How do I want to do this? This is such a good basis. I'm wondering if maybe we sculpt something around it. And then, maybe refine it. Big flying slug. I guess what things are cool when they fly? Cats. Cat wings are fun. Cats when they fly are super cute. And this thing is kind of cat-shaped. If we made the front cogs on this eyes, and then when they spin, the eyes looked like they were going whoop, 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 that would be very much like an old school animated. That would be like a Felix the Cat Felix the Cat vibe. That could be very fun. I'm wondering if there's a way I can make the tail more centered, but that's more of an engineering. There's some engineering questions and some design questions. I'm trying to keep this to design questions. Okay. A snake could be cool. I wonder if I could create... I mean, I definitely could. It could be done. I wonder if I have the competency to create an automaton that has connected scales, and then the scales kind of move as part of the overall movement. That would be hard. That would be hard for where I'm at in my automaton in my automaton journey. I do like the idea of these being little eyes. There's something so iconically cartoonish about that. Did I make all of this really tall? I feel like I made this all so much taller than the actual thing is. Can I squish it? Yes. Whoop. I'll squish these. Okay. Hey, with syrup. We're creating. We're Frankensteining. Just like in Frankenstein, we're making a friend. There's a way to make this lighting better. There we go. Okay. All right, here's what I think we're gonna do. I'm gonna make another Sculpting file. Oh, good. It just automatically showed you that. That's handy. Actually, I would like to go back to the other one. I'm going to copy all of this. And we're going to hop into a sculpting folder. I'm going to paste it. And then I guess we'll just like freestyle around it. Okay. I'm going to put all of you. You all go in your own little folder. Okay. Let me grab you. Let me grab you all. There we go. All right, we're going to put you right down here. And then we're going to... It's giving you no information. Yeah. 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 That's unfortunate, but it's going to be... No, here, I'll replay the video so we can have a better idea how this is gonna all look. So this is the creature. That's the creature. Right there. Hope that helped. The point is that you pay for the class, which I did. So I've got a better idea of what we're working with. Well, sculpt. Okay. I mean, we could make, let me think. A pig would be cute when pigs fly. I do like the idea of doing something that's an aphorism. That feels like such a great way of doing. How do I do anything here again? I've just fully forgotten how to sculpt. Okay, now I want to flatten. I want this thing to be in better shape. The wings could be big ears. Ooh, that's cute. That would be cute. Well, that did very little. Hold on, okay. I do think grab is what I want. And I think I want it to be bigger. There we go. There we go. And then, you know what? We need Dino Topo on. We also want... Where's that one where it's symmetrical? I need you to be symmetrical. The other thing is that Blender has updated since the last time I blonde. The last time I blonde, it was a different layout. Where was the... There used to be a little butterfly icon at the... Ahaha! Huh. Is that the one I want? Yes. Okay. I did it. I did it. Okay. What a shape. I could make a spider. I could make a giant spider, and then these legs could be its giant spider legs. Okay. I don't know what I think this is going to get me. Okay. I like the idea. I mean, that's a pig. It would be, if these were a lot smaller, they could be like the circles and a big pig nose. They would have to be a lot smaller. And frankly, I don't think I have cogs that small. A bee? A bee would be so cute. You know what's great about a bee is we could make it any shape and just paint it bee colors and people would know it's a bee. right? And that's like so straightforward. Right now, this looks like a really low res meat on a spit in a cartoon or in like a video game. Like you would turn it. That could also be that could also be a really fun idea if you did a pig. This is gruesome. If you did a pig that was flying, but in the middle it was a meat roasting on a spit. That's and it cranks its curly little tail. Oh, that's fun. What if the tail of this thing, what if I covered that in like really soft fabric? What if it was covered in like velvet, and then when you went to grab it, it was like, oh, a sensory experience. This is going to be a very sensory creature. Top and bottom. Top and bottom. I think that would be really funny. But is that what I want to do for my first project? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. I guess what I need to decide on is like, do I want the cogs to be visible or not? And I lean towards yes. Like that's why the project is the way it is. It's why the inner part of the project is visible. It's so that you can see all the good cranks and stuff that you've made, that I've made. So I do think I want the cogs to be visible. And if the cogs are going to be visible, then they should be pulling their weight as a design element. So I think, okay, let me go back to modeling. Get rid of this quad sphere. I do like the idea of making these eyes. What kind of element could I put there to make it clear that I want these to be eyes? Anxious Topiary sweeping in with 10 gift subs. Thank you so much, Anxious Topiary. I really appreciate that. I hope you are well. I hope everybody is well. I hope nobody got hit too badly by the tornado. Hurricane. That's the one. Thank you, Anxious Topiary. I really appreciate it. Okay, this could be like over, maybe this is over the crank part. This is not a good representation. I'm thinking like cat eyes, so I wanted it to be like... oblong. What's the better way to... There's a better way to do this. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Oh, that's right. It's September. I forgot it was September. I haven't been doing anything for September. I often feel negligent as a streamer. Yeah, very similar to the cat eye clocks. The Felix cat eye clocks. Okay. That's true. I was traveling for most of it. That's super true. Okay. So I like this, and then these will sort of go around. I'll have to make them... I'll have to see what I can do. What if I made them googly eyes? What if they were googly eyes in the final project, and then... Well, they wouldn't really spin in such a way that you would really get the full effect of the goog. But that doesn't mean they couldn't be googly eyes. I think I have some googly eyes somewhere amongst my art stuff. That could be very fun. And then the tail, I guess I could just make the tail more tail shaped. Something that you could really grab onto. I mean, admittedly, a lot of this creature is a very, very square creature. You can see down here. Like, it's a very Very straightforward shaped. You know, I haven't even talked about the legs. What if the legs are little feet? Obviously, they should be little feet. Because what they are now is they're just stubs. But I could make them... What if this is like a chimera? What if they had little lion feet? Could I source little metal lion feet? I often see... Oh, tying this all together when I go antiquing, a thing that I like to do because I like to touch antiques and be allowed to do such things. Sometimes when I go antiquing, you see like old tables, old like bedside tables that have like lion claw feet. I wonder if I could source some of those, 4 of them. Can I give the cat a little witch hat? Yeah. What if this creature is like my version of a porch goose? And I just attach different seasonal outfits to it. Great Suzo. I could carve my own little feet. I didn't take a wood carving class. I took an Automaton class. A porch goose is a concrete goose. It sits on your porch. And you dress it in little seasonal outfits. So like when it's Easter, you put it in a little Easter bonnet and an Easter apron. And then, as with every U I've used in this, what I mean is Midwesterners. They're super cute. My grandma had one. I don't know what happened to it when she passed. I probably would have accepted it. Yeah, it's like a concrete. They are meant to take some weather. And then, like, it's Christmas. You put on a little Christmas outfit. Oh, it's 4th of July. You put on a little 4th of July outfit. How do I make you foots? How do I make you little feets? I don't think a Taurus is going to get us there. All right, this will be symbolic. The Portuguese are fun. Portuguese way more fun than Elf on the Shelf, because the Portuguese is about celebrating the seasons, not indoctrinating your children into a surveillance state. And so in that specific way, they are far superior. Portuguese are fun. Portuguese are fun. I can't recommend Portuguese enough. Okay. How do I... Let's inflate you. Nope, not on the back. Oh god, I've done something. Okay. This way? This way, okay. It takes so little to turn something into a foot. Portuguese and Portuguese? Yeah, I can see how there'd be some overlap there. These are not gonna look like claws. They're gonna look like little Pinocchio shoes. I mean, making a Pinocchio automaton is also just really inherently funny. Because that wasn't his deal. That's like the opposite of his deal. Alright, I'm gonna tuck this up. How do you make toes? Does anyone even know? I bet not even God remembers how to make toes. Well, kinda. You grew your own? That's cool, but it's not helpful. It does look like a Snorlax kind of claw. Is it possible the only thing I know how to blend are Pokemon? Just make it a Pokemon? No! I will not be reductive. I've got to make my own IP. But I think these little claw feet are usually like on a ball. So I'm gonna give this a little ball. Connie Go, thank you for the resubscribe. Okay. Toes should be additive, like you attach a little sphere and then sculpt it. Supposed distractive. Oh, that makes sense. You need more clay to make the toes. No, that totally makes sense. Oh god, it engulfed one. This is okay. Shit like this, it's adorable and I love it. Shit like this is why I'm like, it's okay to use reference images, Jenna. When I see it, I'm like, why didn't I just look up what these things look like? And just looked at it. That's totally legitimate and fine art thing to do. It could be on wheels. Do you think there's a way? Is there a way for me to sculpt the wings such that it does give them forward motion? No, this is pretty up down. What if I made this thing out of straws and it could fly, but only when you hand cranked it, therefore kind of negating the whole vibe, kind of negating the whole point of the vibe. Solution rubber bands. No scope creep. Going into this, I was like, Jenna, no scope creep. You're gonna want to add lots of other insane options to this creature. No scope creep. Not no scope creep. No scope creep. Not a no scope creep. Just to clarify, because we do game. Whoop. Oh boy. Maybe I could do something like this. I could give it a little faceplate. I could give a little faceplate. And then when you spin, the eyes kind of peek out. I don't know what this thing is going to end up looking like. The more I sculpt, the more I'm like, this could end up in any way. I could immediately hit the limits of my woodworking skills. It's just gonna be whatever it is. I'm gonna call it a gargoyle because that's gonna be the only word to accurately describe what the thing is. I wonder if there's a woodworker in town. I've been wanting to trade skills, get some sort of community trade going where I'm like, I will make you a top tier sweater, the kind of sweaters your grandfather dreamed of. In exchange, you have to make a gargoyle for me. In exchange, you must bring this creature to life for me. Kind of a Faustian bargain, maybe. All right, the peat's got to be shorter. I love the idea of trading a YouTube video for a craft good. I love the idea of being like, what's your favorite horror movie? I will make a YouTube essay, academic YouTube essay about it. In exchange for you reupholstering this chair. Okay. That would rule, actually. Oh my god, okay. This is a little out of balance. Let me see if I can do something about this. Oh no. There we go. Probably should have a really wide stance. This thing has to be unbullyable. Also, it has wings that are gonna flap, so it should probably have like a really wide stance, right? Yes. Low rider. There we go. Okay. Are there any horror movies with a lot of woodworking content? I have to assume, actually just heard about one called Little Otik. It's based on like I think Slavic fairy tale. It's one of those fucked up fairy tales where it's like, okay, this is just a horror story. And you're calling it a fairy tale, but this is just a horror story about, this family who wants to have a child, and one of the father like finds this log in the woods that is carved like a baby, and so they take it home, and the baby like awakens and is like, I'm a baby, you have to feed me. And so they start feeding it, but it wants more and more food, and it gets bigger and bigger, but it's still like this wooden baby. And eventually it's like, feed me the village, and like more and more they just like start feeding it full-size human. It becomes bigger and bigger, and then like different variations of this end in different ways. But I think the one I liked is that it swallowed the woodcutter with his axe, and he chopped his way out of the baby, thus killing it. And it's just like, whoa. There's so much of that is so familiar for other modern horror stories. Like there's a little bit of like the Little Red Riding Hood in it. There's a little bit like the Bamboo Princess in it. There's a little bit like Little Shop of Horrors in it. Anyway, there's a movie based on it that I got my hands on that I'm gonna try to watch soon. It is very Little Shop of Horrors-esque, but also like Rapunzel, right? Like this family wanted a baby, they found a baby, they kept the baby. I don't know. It's just like a weird little story. Okay. I like wide, low stance. This thing does kind of have a wide, low stance. It has very good proportions. I'll say this little creature down here. Yeah, Tom Thumb too. Yes. When he got put in a costume. Oh my god. I can't wait to look at that Bechtel. Actually, you know what would probably help up the creature ante? If we added like a little snoot. If we added the little snoot, then I think it'll be clearer that these are eyes. Teeth? Yes. Okay. God, we've got so much wiggle room when it comes to snoots. Let's start with a fur. Oh, because there's such a wide variety of snoots. It can't interact with these cogs, or it could interact with the cogs, and then it would also spin. How could I do that to make added motion? Wondering if I could figure out how to make it have a tongue. And then when you flapped the wings, maybe the tongue also came like in and out. So it was like panting because it was exerting itself with its wings. That could be pretty fun. It's not a lick a tongue. It would have an appropriate size tongue. Let me think. This is one of those things where it's like I'm butting up against the knowledge of what I can do with automatons because I just haven't done it enough. I love that lap dude. He sits up with my plants. He's kind of my plant guardian. He hangs out with all of my plants and watches over them. The clay one that I made, to be clear. Not one that I have caught. Not a real Pokemon that I've caught. I made a clay version. And that is what watches over my plants, and I really love it. Are you one object? How did you become one object? How did I do that? Oh, I fucked up. Okay. There we go. Okay. Anxious Toby, you're so right. I was just talking about not letting the scope creep, and here I am being like, let's add a tongue. It's so easy to scope creep. Hey, you know what? Maybe there's no such thing as scope creep when you're brainstorming. No, there is. There is. I was just saying that to comfort myself. There is scope creep in brainstorming. Okay. You've created a sculpt where you have to figure out the math on the cog conversion. Galumfer. No. I made cogs of different size. So these are going to be the cogs for the eyes. And so I have a smaller cog. I don't know how this is all going to function because I can't. I don't know how this is going to function. I don't know. Isoplot, I think you're right. So it would have to be a little off center. It'll be like this, but it'll be okay. One of the cool things about the instructor in this class is that he had like this modular board. He had this modular board where he could just plug in cogs and arms and stuff and then like test out how they function together. And he used that as like a teaching tool. And that was really cool. And I would love one of those. Like kind of like a mini game. Yeah. Wow. If there was a cog-based mini game, I feel like I would learn so much about the physics of cogs. Pipes are done. Pipes are over with. No more pipes mini games. Cog mini games. Marlo. I modulared her board until she... Wait, no. Yeah, no, that's a great point. It would have to be offset. And I think I would want it offset opposite the side that the tail is offset. So it's kind of going to be a little squiggly creature for sure. Nancy Drew puzzle if ever I've seen one. Fuck yeah. I would learn so much about cogs. And the game would be like, wow, didn't you just learn a bunch about cogs? I'd be like, yeah. All right, so maybe we have like a smaller cog here. I'm writing myself a check right now that I can't cash because I don't think I have smaller. I think that's... Oh no, I do. I have like one... I've got one smaller cog. All of these cogs also need to be finished. Did the stream drop again? This is a Twitch issue because I'm not seeing anything on my end. Have good boggle with syrup. Stream good? Okay. So I've got like one or two really tiny cogs. So it could be something like this. Here, I'll do, well, where the eyes are here, there's cog here, and then there's another central cog, and then this is the cog that operates the tongue. Ho 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 ho. Okay. Okay. I also have one bigger cog. Tiny cog goes fast, so tongue would go fast. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Tongue go fast, that's cute. Tongue go fast, that's cute. I think it makes sense if like... No, it's not the scope creep. This is reasonable creep. But now, how would I do a tongue moving? Okay, I mean, the lazy thing to do, hold on. The lazy but probably functional thing to do is to just like, I could just like paint this cog partially red so that the tongue kind of swept through like that. That would be a little bit wild. It would be so like the tongue, if it went like this, then partially... Yeah, hello, Alec. Oh, if you're having trouble, hello. Everybody who just got a gift sub recently. Thank you to Hobbs and Dracarnius and Anxious Topiary and everybody who has done gift subs. If you are having trouble, you should be able to get into Discord and you should come and hang out because it's fun. If you are having trouble connecting it, DM me on Twitch and I will get you a one-time use code to hop in. Because it works, most of the time it works fine. Sometimes it doesn't work totally accurately. So if you are having trouble getting in the Discord, DM me on Twitch after the stream and I will send you an invite. Because you should have my hang out. It's a nice place. You can see very cute pet photos. Okay, so that is an option. That's like the lazy option. The better option, Dracarnius, thank you for the gift subs, the additional gift subs. Thank you, Dracarnius. Y'all are such sweethearts. Thank you so much. How do things work? No, I'm gonna go to my mind palace. It's really hard to go to my mind palace when I'm on stream because I'm just like so cognizant that I'm visible and also being silent and weird. So it would need... It's just hard to think about because the motion is going this way. And if I want the motion to come in and out for like a tongue, it would need to have a pull going out. A pull going out. I just need to do more cog work. Maybe I'm being too... Is this scope creep? Is it scope creep? You have to tell me. This might be scope creep. Because if the pull... If I'm trying... So the motion is going this way. If I'm trying to get the motion to go in and out, it's still so hard for me to conceptualize how to go about that. I would need a pull out from here. Okay. If it's just painted on this, then it would be fine. It would be similar... Well, this is the tricky thing about the wings, is that it's not actually changing direction. Because these are... What? No, rotate. These are going this way, right? And so this is going... The way this is functioning is... It's following this path. And so the wings are not actually, like, they would look like they're going the same direction, because if you can see in the picture here, it's really hard to tell. In the picture here, that would make it in and out. I have to think about this. I am going to make this in real life. That's why the scope creep is so intense and so precarious. I've got I've got these wooden cogs that I've been holding up. Those are the actual bits of it that are going to be a part of it. Good luck. Thank you. This is scope creep. It is scope creep. I think but like, this is how you learn, right? Like, this is how I'm going to have to sit on my own and think through the mechanics of getting the tongue in and out. You have an angel and your devil on your shoulder? Yeah, I do too. And it's called chat. You're right that it is scope creep. But on the other hand, you want to creep your scope outside of the bounds of what you think you know how to do, because that's how you learn. Comes out at the bottom, not forward. Yeah, scope creep is something you come across quite frequently in video games in particular, but in basically any creative project you do, which is like, you've got like, if you have like a set boundary about like budget or time frame, but you're like, ooh, what if we do all of these super cool stuff that would blow our budget and our time frame and make everything more difficult / impossible? That is considered scope creep. And you see it a lot in video games where it'll be like, we added these 8 mini games and then we ended up having to cut them because it was outside of scope. So it's important to be aware of, but it's also like, if you're learning how to do something, it's kind of good to... Oh, Kickstarter projects, true, yeah. The scope can creep. Kickstarter projects is a good one. But if you're learning a new skill, it's important to creep your scope. If you're learning a new skill, it's good to creep your scope so that you learn. That's how you learn how to do new skills and stuff. Okay. I'm conceptualizing it. So this goes round, this goes round. This goes like this. And then so there would have to be another piece attached down here. This is so different. It's wild that we can just do this. Sorry, I'm just thinking about computers again. It's wild that we can just like model this stuff. I bet there's a program out there that's, well, maybe not for automatons. Automatons are pretty homespun stuff. Okay, so we've got, I think doing this out will help me conceptualize it. So these go round. And then I would need home cranked. Do it by hand. It would need, there would have to be something. If the tongue was felt, yeah, that's true. If the tongue was felt and it was long enough, I could just stick it here and it would go. And if it was like, hold on, let me build a mouth in this. Let me build a mouth in this. Horrible. What a horrible little mouth. This is not a finished design. I don't commit to any of the choices I've made here. It looks so unhappy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that is the little face it's making. I'll make it happier. But the point is, so that if I did just attach a tongue to this cog, then what it would functionally operate as is it would go, it would have to be really long. This is just a mock-up, Comfort. This is how it won't be how it actually functions, but it would go as it like went up and over this. Hold on. There's a better way to model this. Hold on. As it went down and then it went up, it would be less visible and would be down and up. So it would like in function. Does this make sense? Does what I'm doing make sense? This makes sense to me. Maybe that's what matters. So if this were like made out of felt, as the suggestion has been, and it was long enough, it could drape in here and never be so short that it leaves the mouth. And then it would sort of give the effect of panting. Right? Listen, that makes sense to me. That conceptually, that makes sense to me. But then, no. We've done such a good job avoiding the butt plug phase today in Blender, and I'm really proud of me and us Yeah, great Suzo. It would give the illusion of going in and out. And that's, automatons are all about illusion. So I'm not against that. I am probably going to still, I do want to like mentally crack. It's just one of those things where it's like, there's a logic to automatons and how these cogs and pulls and stuff function. And it's just a matter of like, once, it's much like a programming language. It's like, once you crack through the barrier of understanding how the logic works, it is simpler. What you're suggesting is simpler, but I think it's worth me taking a little personal time to conceptualize how to change the directions of the angles to get something that has motion in multiple directions. And it would have to be, so if I wanted something to go like this. It's so weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna crack this on my own time. Yeah, you would absolutely need a grommet. I think you're right. There would have to be something redirecting the flow of the energy. Sad little face. It's sad little face. The project definitely got into it. And so it's just going to be, I'm going to have to study more. This is certainly a creature we've made. Horizontal cog with tongue attached. Yeah, we would need, yeah, there would have to be, it would be like this. No, come back. There we go. It's incredible what you can do with technology. This is beyond scope creep. No, this is so reasonable. This is so reasonable. A beveled gear? Oh, did I end up making two of you? Oh, get out of here. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the beveled gear would be would be more complicated. Well, I'll just have to think about this. I'm gonna be thinking about this tongue for a while. I think it would be a cool added element. I think I made a bulldog. I think I've made a bulldog. I do believe that that is what I've done. Once you have to learn machine steel, you've crossed a line somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could make beveled gears out of wood. It would probably take a lot of sanding. Sanding? That was a shout out to Hey Riddle Riddle. Okay. Okay. I like the visible ears. I might adjust how I think the ears are going to go in the final one. Because in this one, they're ear-shaped. But it's all... Boop, boop. They are ear-shaped, but they're really just hold points. But actually, if I move the shape of the ears upward, then they can actually be a little bit more visually prominent. Anxious topiary. That would be very cool. That would be very cool. And if you did that, you should post it to the Discord, because I would like to see that. I wonder if Legos seem like they might legitimately be a good option for like mocking up. Do they make Lego cogs? They have to. They have to. They make so much other Lego stuff. Wow. A cog board made out of Legos? Am I about to get super into Legos? Because that would be such an incredible way of mocking up a larger wooden product. Because you could just get a regular Lego board. I wonder if my parents still have my Legos from the old days. God, that would be really great. That would be such a better way than Blender to mock up the shape of a project like that. There was a Lego Master game show? Was it like building Lego sets? Okay, I'm gonna have to think really hard about that. I'm wondering how... I mean, I think adjusting the length of these... They would have to be a little bit longer. Probably need to be longer than the cogs for clearance. Really? Really big. Hold on. We got rid of all of that. Oh, I was talking about doing a snoot. Let's actually get a snoot in place. In my mind, I'm imagining like a lion snoot, but that's just because so much chimerical base creatures are part lion. I wonder if somebody's done a paper on that. I would like to know why so much lion. Why so many weird creatures have lion bits. Lions are so memeable, but why? Why are lions so memeable? Biblical? Okay, that is a good point. They are biblical. Oh God, I'm just making another face. This is gonna be just like in Plucky Squire, where there's like a weirdly very realistic element and then the really cartoony abstract elements. Tiny cat brain and big kitty cat body. Okay, that's true. Lions are fun. I don't regret that lions appear so much in the art of other creatures. Can I make the smile really pronounced? I'm gonna give it, I think I am gonna give it a little kitty. That little kitty paunch. Nope. Kinda gave it boobs. Without the context of the rest of the cat face, it's really hard to determine that this kitty face. Everything I'm gonna do to this is gonna make it worse before it makes it better. Give a mustache. I don't know if I want a dude with wings hanging out in my house. And I think, weirdly, a mustache makes it a dude and not a guy. You know what I mean? What have I done? It's just like, what have I done? Like, with my life. I don't hate it though, but how am I going to craft that out of wood? This is a question. How do I think I'm going to add that? How do I think this is going to be attached to this creature? Did Aslan have wings? Probably not. He was just God. Did God have wings? He's just a lion? Honestly, kind of disappointing. Mechtel! Oh my god! That would be actually pretty great inspo. I love that winged lion. I could also make the winged lion of St. Mark, which is an icon of Venice that I very much fell in love with when I was in Venice. Inspiration is all around you. It's just so uncanny to see. Is this anything? Have we done anything here today? Lamasu? Adding a mustache to a little guy makes it a little dude. That is how I feel about it. That is how I feel about it 100%. Boy, this has so much topography. It has too much topography. I'm gonna carve the nose out of wood, source for everywhere, make clay. I could potentially make it out of clay. The famously bad taxidermy of a lion? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Lamasu? Oh. Lamasu are the Babylonian, Mesopotamian, like human-headed winged lions. Those are fucking dope as hell. Lamasu are very cool. Assyrian. They're Assyrian protective deity. Oh, having one of those look over my house would make me very powerful. But again, I just don't know if I want a dude. The heads of them are very dudes. I do like how they render the beards, though. I am just making a griffin. Whatever this creature is, it is going to have the bearing of a griffin. I've done this before, which is make cat bits out of blocks, which might be easier for me to render in wood. How would I make a cat nose in a block, though? I mean, I think you'd have to cut the shape out. Because I feel like cat noses, I guess a little triangle. A little button nose, that's cute. I think you're right. I think triangle is the way to go. Can I make a triangle? Hey, okay. Without the context of the mouth, though, it does look like a chicken. It does sort of look like a chicken. It does really look like a chicken. Kind of owl-like to you? Okay. I don't, you know, owls are cool. A little protective owl, I don't hate that. Okay. Owls are just cats also. We have discovered in Blender streams before that there is quite an overlap in the iconic aspects of cats and owls. I believe I've made at least one sort of hybrid. And then maybe if I... What do I think I'm doing? I think I'm doing. I don't think this is anything. I was trying to go for the paunches, the little kitty paunches. I don't know what those are called. What part? Mandible? What part of the cat is the... I guess it's just part of the mouth? Cheeks? Are they considered the cheeks? Whisker base? If the corners of it are rounded, that's cat nose. Let me see. Let's get a bevel going. Let's get a Beverly going. Let's get a little bit of a Beverly going. Okay, you know what? That's kind of cat nose. Okay, you know what? That is kind of cat nose. That Beverly did a good amount of labor into getting that to be more cat-like. Honestly, this all kind of works. Oh God. Yeah, actually that is a cat. Somehow that is a cat. And then when it turns, oh, it do wah, wah, wah. I love it. Yeah, I would go in the opposite way. But I can't mimic that. You understand, I can't like, I don't know how to mimic that trajectory in in Blender. Hold on. If I mirror, where are you, my dear? Oh, they changed all of this, so now you have to like, there we go. If I mirrored it, oh, no, don't merge. Oh, it has to be mirrored around you, probably. Okay. Okay. It would look like this. It's not as cute. It's not as cute as when they went the same way. I think we can all agree. If I put googly, I am thinking about googly eyes. I'm worried it won't have enough momentum to get much goog on the googly eyes. I do worry about that. But I do kind of like, I do like this eyeball energy. That is one of those things that is within scope. Galumper, I'm always saying that. I can crank it as fast as I want, but there are limits to the mechanical. There are mechanical limits to the crank. I can crank it as fast as I want, but whether that's going to give me the results I need, it's hard to know. Okay, well, I love that. I love that. And I am so pleased at how well that snoot kind of took shape. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to make this a little bit more narrow. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. I would like it. It just needs to be more shapely. Okay. All right. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. Like, come on. That's a creature. That's a good creature. I'm really pleased. I'm really quite pleased. And then this will be... That'll be there for stability. This will be the box shape. I'll do something cute with the tail. There's no reason I can't make the tail curly Q like a pig. Because this is a chimera. You can really just throw whatever spaghetti you got at the wall. And then that spaghetti is on the wall. Oh, man. Okay. And then I could, if I wanted to, do a plate here so that the fact that its wings are coming out of its eyeballs is less visible. Do we even need wings at this point? Yeah, you're right. It's really putting a hat on a hat, having wings on this thing at all. Yeah, that's a possibility. It does make everything a little bit more projected out into space. So actually, I'm actually not that convinced. Oh God, what did I delete? Okay. I feel great about this creature. I'm going to see if I can source some of those lion ball feet without having to like buy and dismantle a whole table. Although I bet a whole table would give me a lot of good wood to use. Wood's really expensive. That's part of why this stream is happening. Wood is shockingly expensive. I could put the wings in the middle. That's true. That's true. I could do a double. I could put the cogs for the wings here. And then put all of this infrastructure Oh, okay. And then the pole that is attached to both of these cogs would remain. They would all still remain attached to their respective cogs. And then these would attach to the back side of the head. And then I could make them taller without losing much head space. Sorry, without losing much max headroom. Yeah, that would go there. These could get longer. And then these beasts will really pop out. That is an option. That's a very strong option. I made this thing so long. I made this whole back section really long. Which it doesn't need to be. I think it's funnier if it's a little chonker. What a creature! Oh my god, look at it! A debate about whether max headroom is hot? Interesting. Did you come up with I mean, Amanda Pay's undeniably hot. I don't know about max headroom. This creature is really good, and I'm really pleased about it. It's gonna flap. Oh my god. Okay. I'm really excited about this. Yeah, and then you pull on this and it was click, 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 click. And it all clanks together. It's really good. I feel great about the design elements we have added. And about our responsible lack of scope creep. I might give it a little tongue anyway. It might not be an animated tongue, but I'm probably going to give it a little tongue anyway. Oh, so good. Okay. Just a little blep. Just a little blep to give some character. I think the wings should be bat-like or bird-like. I do feel like cats would have bat-like wings. That is my instinct. I guess to have proper lift, it would have to be like in this image down here, where the fabric is on the top. But I think for the drama of the action, I'm gonna have the wings droop down here. And so when they flap, they flap like they'll be more visible when they're flapping, basically. So instead of having the wings go up and down and up and over like that, I'm gonna have them droop down. And that might just be based on whatever fabric I can get my hands on. I guess the fabric is gonna make a different sound depending on what it is. So if I use like shower curtain plastic, that would make quite a different sound and a different motion than if I used like gauze. Some sort of lovely lightweight silk would probably have a lot of movement. You don't think the slapping of a shower curtain, you don't think that would be a really nice audio experience when you crank this thing? I think it would be memorable. I think it would be bat-like. But if I did it with like silk, it could also, even when it wasn't being cranked, like the wind could catch it and it could like give it a little bit of motion. I think that would be really nice. It's all about motion. It's about how to get motion into this thing responsibly. I think that I'm leaning towards something really lightweight draped down. I think that'll be the plan. All right. Well, my goal this year is to finish this project before the end of the year. And now that it's nice, I can play the video again, yeah. Now that it's nice out and I can do potentially like woodworking on like my outdoors area, it would probably be a lot easier to get this done. Okay. So that's the thing. Hold on. I'll go back. So you could see how it was like, how the parts around the wing, there was that little accent, or the little mechanism there.
Elementos da natureza que mais
Awesome. So good. So good. Yeah, see, there it was. And that's so slow because that one has such tiny little... That version was so... Because the cogs were so tiny, it had such very gentle and small movements. Automatons are so cool. See, there's his creature. My creature's going to look similar. I love how stubby the little legs are. There's something very donkey-like about this.
todos esses
Yes, there's something very, very donkey-like about this creature, but with wings. I love all the tiny little ones he does too. They're so cute. God, I want to make more automatons. This might be my thing. All right. I think that's the long and short of it. Okay. I hope that was helpful. All right. So there might be another craft stream in the future where it's me just like sitting, doing crafts, gluing stuff together, screwing stuff together, etc., etc. I don't totally know what that would look like, because would I want to do that by my computer? Would I get wood everywhere? I'll have to think about it. There's more work to be done before this thing can be assembled. I'm gonna have to buy a jigsaw, I guess. I've got like a saw. I don't have anything that's really good at like big sheets of wood. Which I do have. I have sheets of wood to make the thing out of. I don't know. So that's to say that there will probably be future wood streams related to this creature. Oh, we should probably name it. Do we need a name? The makerspace certainly has a jigsaw. Whether or not they will allow me to use it without like taking a class or something is another question. Jigsaw, not a jigsaw. Oh, my local library might have one. Also, Home Depot might have them for rent. Okay, those are, it's good points. Actually, I bet one or both of my parents has one. Wonder if I could go to their house. Well, I don't have a car. Someday in the future when I have a car, again, I'll go to their house. And maybe I can use theirs. That would be very helpful. Nicholas, is that your name recommendation? Automaton? It's a little bit of a mouthful, but I do like it. I mean, it probably should be called Angie, right? This is the ultimate fruition of the Angie lore. Automatangy? Okay, I do like automatangy. It's difficult to say. Automatangy? These are all really good variants. Maybe it's called Angie and we all have our own Tangy for short. Kind of looping back on Tangela at that point, which is really funny to me. Tomatangy? Tomatangy is so cute. Tamatangi's really cute. Okay, we're gonna call it Tangy. And whatever that is a shortened variation of, you can hold true in your heart. I like all of these so much. So I think Tangy is gonna be what it is. Can I make I'm gonna make a text. Tangy. Oh God, where did it go? Oh God, where did it go? Oh God, there it is. Okay, hold on. All right, there she is. Tangy for short, but short for what you decide? Exactly. That is exactly the vibe. All right, here's Tangy. She's beautiful. I can't wait to see... wait to see how this translates into an actual wooden creature. We'll just have to see. Tuesday, it'll be October, officially. So that might mean we're playing a spooky game, but it might also mean we're playing What the Car. While I decide what spooky game we're playing in the future. Yeah, Galumfer, it's almost October. Don't forget. Like I said, I got the DLC for Home Safety Hotline, and I'm extraordinarily excited to play that. But that, because it's Christmas spooky themed, we're gonna play that probably towards the end of the month. I just picked up so many games, but basically none of them are spooky. So I'm gonna have to go through and see what spooky options we have. I've definitely got some older spooky games we could play. We could always hop into like the Dead Space remake. Did that come out this year or last year? And it doesn't matter. Anyway, Tuesday spooky season. Don't forget, eat an apple, eat a pumpkin, have a pumpkin spice themed something, and I'll see you Tuesday. Have a good rest of your weekend and have a good start to your week. I'll see you later. Bye.